Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a really nice Christmas and New Year. So I'm going to kickstart the 2022 competition prep video series with a shoulder session. I was training my friend in his shed, so very basic workout, focusing mostly on core, barbell and dumbbell lift. So a little bit different from what I've been doing typically in the gym for my shoulder workouts as of late. And I think sometimes that refresh is quite good physically and mentally, as long as you've got enough time kind of in between that to focus on your core workout. Give yourself enough time to try to make progress doing that workout. Then every now and again you can try something else out, switch up the rep ranges, try out a few new exercises. Keeps you mentally fresh, ready to go back to that kind of 4 or 5 weeks where you're doing the same stuff. So that's what we'll do. We'll rotate between body parts. So every 5th week we'll train together in the shed on shoulders. So each week we'll do a different body part. The first exercise is just a unsupported shoulder press. So typically a little bit harder than a back supported barbell shoulder press for obvious reasons. And I find this very similar to the overhead press, same kind of mechanics, but perhaps a little bit harder, 5 to 10% for me at least. It may not be the case for everyone, but I feel I'm able to kind of manipulate my torso a little bit more, move it around a bit more when I'm standing up. Maybe just lean back that little bit more and involve the upper chest. So maybe bear that in mind when switching to an unsupported shoulder press. Obviously, it's a very honest exercise. It's very, very difficult. There's not really any kind of way to help out the shoulders that much. So it's a good one, and it's good to to track progress on for that one. If you can lift a lot of weight on that kind of movement, then your shoulders are going to be very strong indeed. So then moving to kind of like a Scott press, a hybrid between almost like a behind the neck press and an Arnold press. Quite a difficult movement, this one. We did this for higher reps. Don't think it's particularly suited for low reps. Better to go for those kind of 12 to 20 rep sets, keeping the tension on constantly. We did 2 rounds of that before moving to a traditional dumbbell press, again back unsupported, keeping the tension on, 20 plus reps. Even if you're doing partial range of motion, it doesn't matter. Just keep pushing, keep that pain on the shoulders. There's no reason to stop if your range of motion just drops an inch or so. Just keep it moving when you're doing this kind of high rep training. So typically for me, I've only really been doing kind of 1 set to failure on my shoulder exercises. Some of the isolations I would do more on. I'd maybe do like a back off set here and there, but I wouldn't do light dumbbells. So I found that quite refreshing. Then we did some lateral raises. So chest supported lateral raises, so you're leaning into the bench. And again, this is something I wouldn't usually do. I would do it the other way round, kind of leaning back on the bench. I think both are very effective. This one definitely felt that in the side delts rather. Very difficult. Only using 10, and again, keep the reps high. 3 sets of 20, I believe. And on the final set, we used the band to again further increase the intensity to take that set past failure. A lot of very high reps sets in this session, which is again very different from what I've been doing as of late. I think I've only been doing high reps on my seated machine lateral raises, where I do massive sets of 40 to 60 reps in rest pause style. So that's pretty intense. So I actually found the high reps here refreshing, but not too difficult, because I've been doing those rest pauses on the laterals and feel my stamina has increased as a consequence of that. So next up is rear delts, hitting it with the focus pulls initially. It's a good way of doing it with the rope to start with, and then we both found that the bar was perhaps a little bit better, a bit more forgiving in terms of the grip, a bit more comfortable. Coming from a low angle pulling upwards, it worked really well for the rear delts, and then switching on to the dumbbell work. Traditional kind of rear delt flyers, using the bench to support the chest on, so there's no kind of to-ing and throwing with the torso. There's no rocking back and forth. It's a very strict movement. And again, high reps on that. I think there were sets of 15 to 20. And to finish up the shoulders, we basically did like a reverse pyramid. Very quick swaps between the two of us. So my training partner would do 10, then I would do 10, then he would do 9, I would do 9, 8, 8, and so on and so on. So all the way from 10 to 1. Very, very good. The pump in the shoulders was extreme, but also very good for fitness because you're doing a lot of reps on a compound movement. So you've got to keep your breathing in check and make sure you're in a good rhythm to bash those reps out. I think if you're not prepared, it's probably going to really do you in something like this. So maybe better suited for like a lateral raise dumbbells or machines initially, and then maybe working up to a press with a little bit of experience. So yeah, very, very difficult. Overall, really good session. Thoroughly enjoyed it. A little bit different from what I've been doing before, as I said. Typically kind of only one set to failure and then maybe like one back off set. 2 or 3 sets on my isolation work. And I'll record that next week as well, just so you can see that. So I'm going to be doing at least one training video each week to document my progress as I continue to drop body fat for my competition prep. Definitely going to do a competition this year. The diet started already, and I'll do another video very soon going over my plans for losing body fat, poses, kind of physique updates, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. Check out my website as well. The link's in the description box below for online coaching exclusively for natural lifters. Stay strong.